right, what's up, world? We are Luke and Alex Johnson, and we are here to tell you about the latest adventure in our lives. As you may have guessed by the title of this video or by what I'm sitting on and what's sitting behind me, it does involve building and renting tiny homes. We're starting off with building 2 of these things. What we want to do with this channel is bring you along the process of us building these things, getting them put in place, getting them set up to rent, and then eventually renting them out. They are going to be just solely short-term rentals, so we'll be renting those on Airbnb, VRBO, or whatever that may be. Honestly, we've still got a whole lot to figure out, but we're a long way from renting them out, so that's okay. There's going to be a lot of that along the way. This is new to both of us. I don't think you've ever managed an Airbnb rental.
No.
I've certainly never built a tiny home. But yeah, that's what we're here to do. A little bit about me: I build hardwood furniture full-time. I build just fully custom furniture, self-employed by myself. I don't have any employees or anything like that. And I do some real estate investing. We've done some house flipping. We do own some long-term rentals, but never done anything in the short-term rental game, and certainly never built any housing structure from the ground up. We're gonna get to go through all that fun together. You can tell these already have subfloors on them. We've already got a few videos made and ready to upload to show you how we did the insulation and the subfloors and all that, and we will do a video for every step of the process. We'll also cover a lot of information that doesn't normally get covered. We're building these things certified. We'll go into what that means and why we're doing it later. And I guess that's about all we have to show you here. I think we're gonna get ready and hop in the truck and head on up to the land that these things are gonna ultimately sit on. We did purchase that land not too long ago, and really excited to show you all that as well. Also worth mentioning that I am not steamrolling these videos. I've been pretty active on social media for several years now with my furniture business. I've got a podcast, and it's really nothing new for me to speak on camera, but it is for this one.
I'm a little camera shy. Y'all bear with me throughout this process, but I am really excited about it and looking forward to everything that's to come, and we're excited to take you up to see the land.
This one, she graduated college with a major in communications and marketing.
You wouldn't know it.
Which she is excellent at. She's still in the corporate world. We met in college, and I was in school for engineering, and I got out and worked in engineering for a few years. Decided that whole world just wasn't really for me, so I fell in love with woodworking and furniture making, and started my business, Johnson Company Woodworking, where I do pretty high-end, full custom furniture, and I absolutely love it. This entrepreneur, self-employed lifestyle is
really appealing.
It's it for me, and that's a large part of what we're doing here. This is the first thing that she and I have ever done together in a business sense. And the end goal, we'll just tell you, the end goal is to get this one out of work at some point. When we get this thing large scale enough, she'll be able to leave her job and just manage all the rentals. So that's a little bit of background on us. You'll get a lot more along the way, I'm sure. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants on the YouTube content process just as much as we are on the build process. So bear with us.
That's the fun in it.
Have fun with us. It's gonna be a good time, and we're gonna make sure to get all that good information in there too. So try to kill those several birds with one stone here. But you're ready. Let's go ahead and roll up to the land. We'll show y'all. There's some beautiful views up there. I'm excited for you to see, and we'll cover a lot more information along the way.
Let's roll. And
this is Miss Daisy, who was not cooperating for the first video, and it's probably not going to ever. But here she we're gonna load up and head that way.
Party time.
I figured we could use the drive to cover some questions that we usually get. There are quite a few questions we are already continuously getting when we're talking about this stuff. We'll cover a few of those right now.
Hey, where are these things even going?
We are in beautiful Belvedere, Tennessee right now. That's where my furniture shop is. And the land that we purchased is up the mountain about 20 minutes away, up on Key Springs Mountain. It is a beautiful mountain right outside of Winchester, Tennessee. There's not a whole lot going on up there. If you're familiar with the Walls of Jericho, that trailhead is up there. If you do any off-roading, four-wheel drive riding, Iron Gap is a place that a lot of folks ride up there. There's a lot of horse riding. There's a lot of public state land up there. It's just it's a beautiful mountain and a beautiful location, and I cannot wait to show you guys.
We get asked a lot why we're building these on wheels and not just in place on the bluff lot. Why are we building them on trailers?
The main reason we're building them on trailers is it really lends to our exit strategy, our potential exit strategy on this venture. There's not a whole lot of this kind of thing in the area. We don't have any market data to really show us that it's going to work, to really give us any confidence. I'm very confident in it just because I know how beautiful the area is, and I know what the vision looks like for what we're setting up. And I say I a lot because all of my social media is just me, but most of the eyes on this channel should really be we's, and I'm gonna try to do a lot better on that.
I promise he really isn't steamrolling. I just like to be behind the camera, so.
Yeah, so we're building on wheels because if they don't rent well, we can relocate them. We can find another spot in another town, or maybe on the river, on the lake, or anywhere else that you might want to rent a vacation property. That's a big reason, is that we could then relocate. It also allows us, if we needed to just cut bait and pull all the way out, we could sell them. And if they're sitting in place, you kind of have to sell that and the land and everything. But with this, we'll be able to market them to a much larger audience for anybody who's just looking for a tiny home. And it just makes that exit strategy process a lot easier. Another reason, and probably the bigger reason, honestly, is the logistics behind it. Building those behind the shop, or really beside the shop, makes the build process a lot easier. That location is a lot closer to town. It's next to my fully equipped, air-conditioned woodworking shop, and we're building them just directly side by side, so we can run everything in parallel, as opposed to having to go on site and work on them. Anytime we needed to do anything to them, we would have to drive up the mountain and go do it on site, have to bring all our tools with us and everything like that. It makes logistics a lot easier, and then the added comfort of having that exit strategy just seemed like the best answer for us. That's why we're doing it.
You talked a little bit about it when you talked about the location, but talk a little more about why you think that this location is a draw for those who are looking at renting.
Our initial criteria, we really wanted this to be a getaway, a place that you can go and be very secluded from everything. You get away from the sights and the sounds of the city and just kind of the normal life. Our main criteria was just that seclusion and finding somewhere that really satisfied that. But as we started looking more in this specific area, we started to realize, and I grew up around this area, so I have a good idea of it as well, but there is a lot of draw that brings people onto this mountain in this area specifically. Like I mentioned, the 4x4 driving, the side-by-sides, it's an extremely popular location for that. There's the Circle E Guest Ranch is up there. A lot of people bring their horses up. There's a lot of trail riding. As I did mention, there's a lot of state land. The specific land that we bought is actually directly adjacent, so it shares a property line with about 2,000 acres of state land. What that means is that's free to use. You can, if you come stay, you can just walk down the mountain into that state land, and then there's all kinds of hiking trails and streams and nature and all that good stuff. So that really is a big draw as well. You've also got the Walls of Jericho trailhead that I mentioned. There's two main trailheads. One is very close to us, to where these tiny homes will be, and the other one is a little bit further south in Alabama. that's a very popular hiking location, and there's, just like I said, there's a bunch of draw of what's going on this mountain. But when you really get down to it, it is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to be. And we want to be able to show that to the world and give more people an opportunity to stay up there. Because like I said, there's just not a lot of infrastructure. There's no water up on the mountain. Everything up there is run on wells, as will these tiny homes be. And for that reason, there's just not a whole lot of stuff up there. And not a lot of people seem to really know about the beauty it has to offer. I'm really confident that it's going to be a good draw, as they say, and that people, once we get some content out there and people can really see some pictures and videos and really understand what's up there, I think we're going to be just fine.
We left Miss Daisy at the shop, but when the tiny homes are built, can we bring her with us?
Absolutely. So that's one thing we really wanted to lean into on these, is making them pet friendly. We've got so many friends and family that our dogs are a huge aspect of our lives, but when we go on vacation, they hardly ever get to go with us. That's a big thing that we wanted to do with these, is we will make them pet friendly, and we're not exactly sure to what extent yet, but I think we'll probably have some fencing up, some potential horse pens and things like that would also serve as animal pens. If you bring your dog up, if your dog's good off of a leash, great, don't worry about it. But if you want to bring a dog that maybe is a little bit more of a flight risk, we'll certainly put some stuff in place to make that easier to do as well. Because, like I said, we always take vacations, but we rarely bring them with us because there's usually just no place for them. And we're going to change that on these. Absolutely. Folks, I'm rolling. Mm-hmm. All right, folks, we are here. The land does need needs good mow. This is the very front portion, which you can see probably behind me, and then we will come through, and it kind of opens up into a lot bigger field. I'll just show you what that looks like here in a second. As you can see, we've got a pretty good sized field here that we're sitting in. We're about halfway back. Really excited about this land shed. We weren't able to purchase enough bluff frontage to put all 5 of them on the bluff. So those first 2 are gonna be actually on the bluff. And our audio cut out of the video. Not entirely sure what happened there. But what I was saying is that we're going to put 2 of the tiny homes out on the bluff and the other 3 up in this field here. This field itself is about 11 acres of rolling hills. So there should be plenty of room for us to position these additional 3 tiny homes in such a way that you do have full privacy. You don't have to worry about other folks seeing you. You don't have to worry about seeing other people. Like I said, that is our main priority on these and the positioning of these. And I think that was about it. And we are going to take you back to the bluff now and show you what that looks like. Back here in the woods, we will show y'all the money shot. This is, we're probably standing about exactly where the first tiny home is going to sit. And we've got a little bit of brush clearing out to do. But y'all are fixing to see what I'm seeing. And you're fixing to understand why we chose this spot right about now. How about that view? Miles. And all that state land that I was talking about is this right down here. This is all state land, which means there's no buildings, which means there's no lights, which means there's no sounds other than nature. And this little point right here is the best spot on the entire property. Obviously, we're gonna have to get some safety rails up and stuff like that. It is, it actually doesn't look like it there, but it is a long way down. That's about all we have to tell you right now. Something about being up here, working on the trailers obviously makes it real, but something about being up here just really, I don't know, really gets me excited about this whole venture. It's pretty obvious why, because it is so beautiful up here. But unfortunately, most of your content that you'll see for the next, I don't know, 6 months will probably be just us building there by the shop. We'll try to get some more footage out here, and we'll be doing a lot of land clearing and stuff a little bit further down the road, and we'll be showing that. But for the most part, there's not going to be a whole lot done up here for the time being. We're putting all of our efforts into actually building the tiny homes. But something about just being out here, I'm telling you, it's so...
I don't think you could be mad out here.
No, I mean,
it's so peaceful.
We're 20 minutes outside of town, and you can't hear the first vehicle. You can't hear the first tractor. There's just nothing but nature. It's so nice. I'm rambling, but it's rightfully so. I guess that about covers it. If y'all have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Same with all of our videos. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments. We're going to be very active on the channel, trying to keep everything answered. If we get any questions that we're getting a lot, we may do some Q&A videos and things like that. Please interact, get to know us, let us get to know you. We really want to make this a social experience. Selfishly, a lot of that is for marketing, so we can let as many people know as possible about this beautiful place, but it also just helps us enjoy the process. It's the same way I do my furniture and stuff. I'm very active on socials, and it just makes the whole process a lot more enjoyable. I love talking about the stuff that we're doing, and this just gives us another avenue to do it. This is the first time I'm doing long form content, the first time Alex is really doing any content. Bear with us, it's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be over the top, it's not gonna be overly edited and graphics and all that stuff. We're gonna kind of keep it as simple as we can, so as to not get too burnt out working on the content and still really be able to just enjoy bringing you the content. That's all we got. I think we're gonna get you some really nice pano shots of this property, and then we'll cut and see you on the build videos.
Bye. Be my stage mom.